K News Bulletin with me, Emmanuel George. The Superintendent of Montserrat County has presented a 17-seated bus, one motorcycle, and 2 tricycles to the office of the local government and the Bento City Corporation. The donation is aimed at addressing transportation challenges facing both the Bento City Corporation and the local government office. Making the presentation, Superintendent Warwick Bryant said the effort is to ensure that staff punctuality and to boost efficient in the discharge of their duties and responsibilities. Superintendent Bryant further emphasized the importance of the dedication to public service. Accepting the donation on behalf of the workforce, Human Resource Director Ada Kalon welcomed the gift, describing it as a much-needed boost to their daily operations. The items, which were procured through the county and social development funds, are valued at 49,000 United States dollars. The National Elections Commission has announced the arrival of 41,800 ballot papers for the upcoming by-election in Nima County. Electoral District 5 slated for Tuesday, August 12, 2025. NECO chairperson Tabla Reeves disclosed that 751 tactile guides and 751 records of count also arrived along with the ballot papers. Addressing the media in the James Flomoya Press Hall on Thursday, July 31, 2025, Councillor Reeves added that the electoral materials are currently stored at the NEC warehouse under the protection of officers of the Liberia National Police. NECO chairperson assured the public of a free, fair, and transparent election. She urged candidates, political parties, and voters to conduct themselves in a manner that supports a peaceful election. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry and the Central Bank of Liberia, with funding from the World Bank, have officially signed agreements with 7 financial institutions. The agreement will purposely provide credit to micro, small, and medium enterprises across the country. Commerce Minister Magdalene Dagozes and Central Bank Executive Governor Henry Samoa signed on behalf of their respective entities. Designated representatives of participating financial institutions under the Liberia Finance Investment and Trade Project were present during the signing ceremony. The ceremony, which was held on the 10th floor of the Central Bank of Liberia, was graced by representatives of the Liberia Business Association, the National Bureau of Concession, and some banking and financial institutions. Speaking at the signing ceremony, Commerce Minister Magdalene Dagoze noted that the signing of the agreement shows that the central government is aware of the many challenges micro, small, and medium enterprises endure to acquire loans from commercial banks. For his part, CBL Executive Governor Henry Samoa called on the legislature to enact laws that will strengthen the mechanism that will support financial institutions to speedily collect their resources put on credit. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Thomas Falla, has dedicated 15 newly constructed mini-park bridges connecting several hard-to-reach communities across the district. The project is part of an ongoing effort to improve feeder roads and make travel easier for citizens in the area, especially during the rainy season. Speaking at the dedication ceremony, Deputy Speaker Fala said the initiative will improve access to key services including schools, markets, clinics, and nearby towns and villages, something he believes that every community, no matter how remote, deserves to be connected to. Fala described the bridges as a symbol of his commitment to rural development, emphasizing that improved roads can help drive economic activity and create new opportunities for local residents. He also vowed to continue working with the local stakeholders to ensure development reaches every corner of Foya District and beyond. The Joint Committee on Investment and Concession and Transport of the House of Representatives has taken decisive action following the failure of the Liberia Traffic Management LTM to appear for an investigative hearing on Thursday, July 31, 2025. The hearing was in response to a petition filed by aggrieved employees of the Ministry of Transport regarding concerns over the concession granted LTM. While all invited parties honored the committee's summons, LTM failed to appear without providing any rating excuse, stalling the progress of the investigation. As a result, the Joint Committee has issued a stop order on all operations of the Liberia Traffic Management LTM, pending a full legislative review of the concession agreement. In the interim, the Ministry of Transport has been mandated to resume its full statutory responsibilities, especially motor vehicle registration, issuance of driver's licenses, and the enforcement of the transportation-related regulations in collaboration with the Liberia National Police. The Chief Clerk of the House has been instructed to formally communicate this decision to relevant authorities. Additionally, the Inspector General of the Police has been mandated to assist the Ministry of Transport in enforcing Liberia's motor vehicle and traffic laws in the absence of LTM. Meanwhile, the Liberia Traffic Management and its legal counsel have been summoned to appear before the Joint Committee on Monday, August 4, 2025, to respond to charges of contempt for repeated failure to comply with legislative summons. The press director of the House of Representatives, Robert Haynes, gave more details of this development to media men. A disbanded captain of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Jerry Colley, has called on the Unity Party-led government to extend the national reconciliation and reburial of efforts to the gallant men and women of the AFL who lost their lives in defense of their country. The disbanded captain acknowledged President Joseph Boaka's national reconciliation move, but shares the crucial need to recognize fallen soldiers defending Liberia by a symbolic reburial initiative. Jerry Colley underscored the significant role that fallen members of the armed forces play in defending the territorial borders of the country, stating that their sacrifices must be remembered as part of the government's national reconciliation efforts. The veteran army officer, who was part of the disbanded soldiers in 2003 at the climaxing stage of the Liberian Civil War, said relatives and loved ones of the fallen soldiers still remain in tears. Colley urged President Joseph Boaka to consider a holistic reconciliation in healing the past. in an exclusive interview with K News, the disbanded AFL captain said much attention needs to be given to Army veterans who lost their lives during the Civil War. The Office of the Ombudsman has been alarmed over the failure of some public officials to comply with the asset declaration as enshrined in the Code of Conduct. The head of the Ombudsman, Councillor Finlay Kanga, raised concern over asset declaration, stating that the law requires that once the individual resumes work within 30 days, they should declare their asset. Councillor Kanga noted that despite the law, there are individuals in the three branches of government that are non-compliant with the asset declaration. He disclosed that 21 representatives have failed to declare their assets. Councillor Kanga told the journalist at the Thursday, July 31 edition of the Ministry of Information and Cultural Affairs and Tourism regular press briefing that the Office of the Ombudsman had officially communicated to the House Speaker Richard Nangbe-Koon on the matter. The communication seeks Speaker Koon to institute punitive measures against lawmakers who have not declared their assets. Councillor Kanga wants Speaker Koon to suspend the salaries of non-compliant lawmakers until they comply with the asset declaration mandate. He highlighted that the Office of the Ombudsman is hoping that the legislature will comply with the Code of Conduct. The National Youth Wing of the opposition Alternative National Congress has called for the immediate cancellation of the 25-year concession agreement between the government of Liberia and the Liberia Traffic Management. The opposition party Youth Wing described the deals as dangerous and an erosion of the national sovereignty. Aliyu Kiadi said due amounts to the privatization of law enforcement and undermines the constitutional authority of the Liberian state. The opposition party called the situation a national emergency that requires government's urgent intervention. In a statement delivered by Aliyu Kiadi, Secretary General of the Indomitable National Youth Congress, the group said the government's approach to the drug crisis has been limited to speeches, citing the 2018 SEED report, which estimated that between 25,000 to 100,000 youth were already affected by drugs. The ANC Youth Wing says those numbers have now likely skyrocketed. With no visible national recovery plan in place, the youth group has announced August 7 protest as a national day of action, calling on all Liberians to rise in solidarity and pressure the government to treat the issue with the urgency it deserves. In a move that seeks to position Liberia as a leading destination for attraction in Africa, Nigerian entrepreneur and founder of the Palm Africa, Princess Odesua Obaseki, is championing the transformation of Liberia's raw materials into world-class finished goods. Speaking to the media, the businesswoman, who also has the Brave Hearts Group, said Liberia rich culture, fertile soil, and abundant natural resources provide a unique opportunity for the nation to take the lead in African innovation and industry. K News at 2, Emmanuel George.